In this video, I will let you know everything that you need to know around manifestation A to Z. Take it as your ultimate manifestation guide. We know that 2024 is right around the corner, and this is usually the time where people reflect upon how their year has been up until now. It's either the happiest time of the year, as there are holidays around the corner and people spend a lot of time with their loved ones. And for a lot of people, it might be a time they're upset or they're demotivated because of certain things that they were unable to achieve in the past year. So I really want you to hear this video out very carefully and apply everything that I'm talking about as you step into 2024. Let's just stop trying. Let's just stop absorbing a lot of content and binge watching manifestation videos. Your main goal when you come into conscious creation is not to binge watch content. It's to find one of those channels that's explaining something really in a simple manner. It's resonating with you, and you close your laptop and you start applying that in your real life instead of getting stuck on each step, questioning each step, and just spending your whole day on YouTube. I am not talking about the beginners here. I'm talking about the people who are stuck in this cycle, this constant loop of just trying to understand it from different point of views, from different angle. When manifestation just comes down, it just comes down to one basic thing: your mind. There's nothing else to understand in manifestation. Your mind is everything. Your mind is the reason you are here right now. Your mind, your brain keeps you alive, and that's what is doing everything around you. And that's the part of your being that is leading you to all different kind of circumstances, opportunities, situations, and people. So manifestation is just your mindset. That is all. Everything starts with your mind and everything ends with your mind. Your mind can make something really beautiful. It can bring you so many opportunities, or your mind can completely destroy you. Now let's quickly cover the basics once again. How does your mind work? How does your mind lead you to certain kind of situations or circumstances? How do you attract it, right? You can put it in any language. You can say that I'm attracting something or I'm being led to something. It's one and the same thing. Now, anytime you forget what manifestation is, I want you to remember a chart. This chart starts with your beliefs. Okay, what are beliefs? Beliefs are nothing but repetitive thoughts. Anything, any information that has been fed to your mind repeatedly, again and again and again. It can be through any source, right? It can be through any source. It can be because of the way you have been raised in your family, the beliefs you have taken on from your parents. That's usually the first place where our first set of beliefs comes in. The societal conditioning, right? Our personal experiences, what we have taken in seeing other people's experiences, social media, internet, news, anywhere. Anything that you feed to your mind repeatedly, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly, or just something you have been observing, something your five senses have been taking in, becomes really familiar to your mind. Those repetitive thoughts create your belief system. Okay, so beliefs are nothing but repetitive thoughts. They are always changeable. You can always change your beliefs at any stage of your life, no matter how deep rooted they are. So your belief system, which is a product of repeated thoughts, okay, any kind of repeated information that you have consumed, now will generate similar kind of thoughts. The thoughts going forward, it would be from your belief system. Your beliefs, your thoughts, and then comes your feelings and emotions. Okay, these things generate your feelings and emotions. Your feeling is the way you feel in your body, in your mind. It's also called as state. Okay, that is what determines your state. Whatever you're feeling determines your state of being, if I use the manifestation language. This is why it's said, and I repeat it in a lot of videos, you don't manifest what you want. You can want a lot of things, you can desire a lot of things as a human being. You manifest what you are, and what you are is what your state is. What are you embodying? That is your state. And I'm not going to get into details of what feeling is. We all know what feeling is. Okay, you feel it in your body, you feel it in your mind. There's one kind of confidence over there. It's one kind of knowing. Okay, you can also call it as your gut feeling or your intuition. A feeling is just a feeling, and when you feel it, you won't have to question it that how do I feel it or how do I know I'm in the correct state. For all those details around feeling it real and state of being, you can check out my playlist, Understanding States. Now, based on your feelings and emotions, what comes next is your actions, words, and behaviors. That is the physical action, the physical behavior, and what are you verbally saying out loud in your 3D reality. This is how manifestation works. Okay, this is the chain you need to remember each time you forget or you are just too confused with so much information out there, that how does my mind actually do all this? How is my mind actually so capable, so powerful, that if I start changing my beliefs and thoughts, right? This is the part where people really get confused or are not able to believe it, that really, if I change my thoughts, if I change my beliefs, it can change my life. How? This is how. The next thing I want you to do is stop setting limitations for yourself and stop getting stuck in all of these rules around manifestation. Okay, manifestation does not have any rule apart from just focusing on your new story, focusing on your new belief system, focusing on feeding your mind the new thoughts. Okay, there are no rules. All these rules have been created by people. I don't know for what reason, to have you hooked to their content, to have you hooked to their channel. But there are no rules around manifestation. Just think about this for a moment. You have been manifesting your whole life, because it does not matter if you are aware of conscious creation or you're not. You're always creating your reality. There's a wall in between. Here is your conscious creation, okay? And here is your autopilot subconscious creation. You're always doing this since the moment you took birth. Were you following any rules here? No, you were not, okay? Your beliefs and your thoughts will always keep creating. They are not biased. They are not out to get you. They are not partial with you. No one is sitting in your head and thinking, okay, I'll filter out these thoughts. I'll manifest this for you. But I will not manifest this for you. Your brain, your mind does not care. Whatever you feed it repeatedly, that's the output you're going to get. It's as simple as that. So stop getting stuck with all these rules that are being created on these manifestation channels. Now, I've spoken about these rules, these myths, these misconceptions, how people understand manifestation in a wrong way in my playlist, which is around Q&A and busting myths. I will link it up here. You can have a look. To give you a few examples, I'm talking about rules around techniques, or rules around how you're supposed to feel, or rules around how your vibration and frequency should be. It does not matter. Everything that is dominant in your mind will materialize outside. It's as simple as that. There's no other rule around this. If you keep feeding your mind a negative story around a certain area of your life, it's going to keep producing that and proving it true. If you change it, give it enough time for the old story to fade away and the new story to settle in, the new beliefs to settle in, it will start producing new results. That's how simple and basic manifestation or conscious creation is. So all these rules, such as you cannot affirm in the future tense, when you're manifesting your specific person, you need to mention their name while you're affirming. You cannot visualize in third person. You cannot have low days. You need to be happy 24/7. You need to be positive 24/7. And people end up doing all of that by suppressing their emotions, which is highly dangerous. My bottom line is, don't become a robot. You are not a robot, okay? You can never become one. Just because you're trying to cross this wall and coming into conscious creation, things don't change. The only difference now is, okay, I'm aware. I can be more mindful, because I know that the beliefs that were limiting me when I was on this side of the wall, I can actually change it. So that's something we are not aware of. We don't know how to do it when we are here. That's the only difference. Now that I'm here, I know how to change my thoughts and beliefs, and I know I'm capable of creating a new reality. It's that hope, it's that realization of your own power and capabilities. It's not caring about what's going on in the 3D, because I know it's changeable. It's not permanent, it's not set in stone. That's the only difference that will take place in your life when you cross this wall. Okay, you don't stop having emotions. You don't start becoming positive or happy 24/7. You're still a human being. You will have bad days. It does not matter. What's the good news? You will know how to deal with it better and ensure this kind of situation does not take place in your life again. With your decisions, with your behavior in the 3D, by changing your self concept, by creating confidence. The next thing I really want you to focus on, and I feel it's so important. I talk about this all the time in my email coaching, in my one on one coaching. It's also a part of my ultimate manifestation packs. Start focusing on creating an abundance mindset. It's going to take you very far in this conscious creation game if you just learn how to create an abundance mindset. If you are confused where to start your manifestation journey, should I start with small things, test it out, or should I start with very specific areas of my life? Then this is the best place to start. Going general is the best way to start your conscious creation journey. An abundance mindset is going to take you way ahead. It's going to cover all the areas of your life, and it's going to make manifestation a walk in the park for you. And an abundance mindset is not complicated. It's simply coming into a knowing, coming into an understanding, training your mind into believing that this is not the be all end all. And that can be generally in life or any specific area of your life, especially when it comes to love and money, because these are the areas people feel the most lack. When you are in a limited mindset, you hold on to that specific object or person like your life depends on it. For you, there's no alternative for it. For you, there's no substitute for it. And that's where the whole attachment comes into the picture. Having an abundance mindset broadens your perspective. It removes unnecessary attachment and resistance towards things or people. It helps improve your self concept and confidence a lot. And because you know this is not the be all end all, the attachment drops right there. You're easily able to let go of all the negative stories and circumstances around that area of your life because you know that things will always get better and I will always get what I want. Whatever feeling, whatever experience I'm trying to seek through this person or through this object, doesn't matter if it's materialistic or not materialistic, I know I'm going to get that feeling from something. My main goal, your main goal, whenever you're trying to attract a person, attract money, it's never about the outside package. Okay, we feel it's about the outside package, but our end goal is never the specific person or that money coming in through these things, through that job, through that career, through health. We are trying to seek certain experiences, certain stability and safety and a safe place, right? You need companionship. That's what you're seeking. You're not seeking that specific person. You are seeking that companionship that you feel can only be provided through that person. Through money, through the specific job, you're seeking safety, stability, and security that you feel will come into your life only when you have that money. And as long as you're seeking these things, companionship, safety, stability, security, as long as you're clear on the feeling, the experience that you're seeking, you're going to have it manifested into your life. It does not matter from which source. Now, through this, I'm not saying that you should give up on your specific person or your dream company. Yes, you can manifest anything you want. You can still keep manifesting that person. But if you're deeply attached to it in an unhealthy way, which a lot of people do with their romantic partners, you will never be able to take your attention off the 3D and what's going on with them, what they say, what they do. That there's always going to be that grasping feeling. And when you have an abundance mindset, those feelings just fade away and you manifest that specific person or that specific job in a specific company with a relaxed mind and body, which is confident that they will receive it. This is not the only person on this earth with billions of people that can give that love and companionship to you. This is not the only company that can give you that package you're seeking. This is not the only career that will give you the benefits you're seeking. And this is something your mind will resist a lot at the beginning because of our conditioning. It will. And you just have to push through that. That is where the inner work comes in. This is the inner work. Getting through the resistance, pushing through the limiting beliefs, and reaching the other side. An abundant mindset will set you free from all the attachment. You wouldn't have to get into a lot of technicalities. How do I let go? How do I take them off the pedestal? How do I detach from the outcome? How do I detach from the old stories? It will all fade away because you have this amazing mindset that what I want comes to me, does not matter from where. The source does not matter. The feelings I want to experience in my life will find me. I will be led to those feelings. And it will happen in the most magical, beautiful, natural way. If you stay in a state that makes you feel that it's this person or there's no one, it's this job or there's no one, and if I don't get this thing, my life is over, okay, my life is ruined. That's not the mindset you want to manifest with. Not just in that specific area. I'm not talking about one thing this year. I'm talking about generally in life. If you start practicing having an abundant mindset, it's going to help you throughout your life in all small and big things. The next thing I want to talk about is the belief work. Don't get too technical about it. Don't get too technical about anything in manifestation. Okay, I won't get too deep into it. This is something I just wanted to cover. If you want to check out the detailed videos, you can check out my belief work playlist. When you are coming into conscious creation, you're not forcing yourself into anything. Listen to this very carefully. I don't want you to force yourself into feeling emotions. I don't want you to force yourself into changing your state. I don't want you to force yourself into doing techniques. And I don't want you to force yourself to believe something that currently you do not believe. The way I want to summarize all of these things I just mentioned is that these things build up on their own. It's not a readily available place you need to jump to, that if I do A, B, C, D, I can feel emotions. I can build belief. If I do this, oh, I can drop the attachment. It's a process. Okay. When you get deeply into practicing techniques and feeling your end goal, feeling that end experience in your body, in your mind, these things unfold naturally by themselves. All of these things are a spectrum. Okay, it's not something you jump to, it's not a black and white thing, there's a gray area in between. The more you work on your self concept, removing your limiting beliefs, focusing on a good, abundant mindset, your belief will build up step by step. Give yourself that kindness, compassion, and let your belief build up. Okay, let these things unfold naturally instead of forcing yourself. Now, I'm not saying there are no ways to do it. Okay, there are ways. The playlist I was referring to, in that also, I'm talking about different ways, practical ways that will help you in building belief. But it still remains a process. For example, one thing I always say is start with small things. Make a list of 5 things this week that you want to manifest, really small things that you have no resistance around. Now, the possibility is that you might manifest 2 things and not 3 things. And it might change next week. Next week, you might manifest all 5 things. And the week after that, maybe you do not manifest any of it. The journey of conscious creation is always going to be an ongoing journey, practice, and training yourself into doing these kind of things. And as you keep practicing it, as you keep training your mind to do certain kind of things, think a certain way, build a certain kind of belief system, your belief in manifestation will build up on its own. Same goes with emotions and feelings. Are there ways to generate it? Yes, there are ways. For example, listening to music, putting on a certain kind of fragrance, getting into your memories about certain feelings. There are ways to do it, but it should come from a good place, not from a fearful state, from a doubtful state that, I'm feeling anxiety. I'm not feeling good right now. I'm getting flashbacks of all the bad memories, but let me just do this technique really quickly and let me just force myself to listen to some good music, and then I will not feel that way. This is what I'm talking about. You don't force yourself into things when you're not in a good state. Let it come out naturally. The more you get into these practices, emotions will come in, feelings will come in, belief will build up. Let it be natural. Don't try to force these things and jump onto something. It's not a destination. Your manifestation journey is always going to be an ongoing journey. The next thing I want to cover up is really important to make your manifestation journey peaceful. And you would have heard it a lot of times everywhere around manifestation, on my channel as well. Circumstances do not matter. Leave your 3D alone. I have a whole playlist around 3D reality and circumstances that you can check out on my channel. We are not saying that 3D does not matter because we are insensitive beings, okay? The only reason we keep repeating 3D does not matter is because it's changeable. That's one simple plain sentence. It's changeable, it's not set in stone, it's not permanent, it can change. Change is the only constant on this earth. If change could not take place, you and I wouldn't be where we are today. If things can go from good to bad, bad to worse, they can go from worse to bad, bad to good again. If you feel a good thing doesn't stay for long, I want you to change your mindset around that. Start repeating this to your mind instead. Any bad circumstance does not stay for long. It never stays for long. Once it's changed back to good, it stays forever. It's that simple mindset, that simple internal dialogue that you can feed your mind that will change everything for you. Because all these phrases, all these sentences, where did we get them from? Just sit back for a moment and try to understand, where did we get these things from? Was it your idea? No. 80 to 90% of our beliefs, okay, are a product of someone else's beliefs. We have been taking on other people's beliefs. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, where do your limiting beliefs come from? Let's not even say limiting beliefs, let's say beliefs, because what you take in are just beliefs. They become limiting or not limiting based on what you're trying to create out of your life. It's from the outside sources, your childhood culture, your traditions, the way your family is, outside information, meeting new people, new groups, school life, college life. Okay, there's no end to it. Till you are on this earth, till the end of your life, till the last day of your life, as long as you're taking in any kind of information through any source, your beliefs will always keep fluctuating. And this is the reason why so many people say that we have grown, we have evolved. I'm not the same person I was 5 years back. I have changed a lot. Why? Because my beliefs have changed. When my beliefs change, the way I look at the world outside changes. The way I deal with things outside changes. The way I respond or react changes. That is what growth and evolving means. So you're evolving throughout your life. Your beliefs will never remain the same. And that is why 3D can never remain the same. Change is the only constant. You can apply it to any part of your life. Change is one thing that will never stop happening. Doesn't matter if it's towards good or towards bad, but change will always keep happening. And that is why circumstances do not matter. So if you really want to focus and commit to this decision of conscious creation, you need to get rid of your heavy focus, heavy emphasis on the 3D reality. I'll tell you exactly what you're doing right now. You're watching manifestation video like this. You're watching an entire guide on manifestation. You're watching 10 channels, 15 channels, okay? Theoretically, you have understood how manifestation works. But then you're closing your laptop and next day, you're again getting stuck with circumstances. And I mean mentally stuck with circumstances. You can't stop replaying old experiences, stories, arguments, text messages, whatever you're stuck in. You cannot let go of those fears and doubts. Okay, them coming in is not the issue. Okay, our human mind will always have these kind of things coming in, going, negative thoughts, doubts, fears. Dwelling in that is your choice. Okay, that is in your control. That is something you need to get disciplined about. And I don't want to hear anyone saying below my video it's easier said than done. It does not matter. Everything in life is easier said than done. Okay, do you want to do it or not? Commenting that is not taking you anywhere. Making a change will take you where you want to go. So it does not matter if something is difficult, okay, if something is not easy, if something is not simple, as long as it's doable. That is all that matters. Is it doable or not? Do you want to do it or not? These are the two questions. If you want to, you will do it. So stop watching all the manifestation content and then again getting stuck with your 3D. Oh, this person said this person did this, they are behaving this way. I saw this dream. Today I didn't see any sign. My dream shows my old story. What do I do? Oh, today my sun sign says that this will happen. Oh, this tarot card or psychic said this will happen. Stop getting stuck in all of these things. It does not matter. Use these things as in astrology and all of those things, tarot card readings, as entertainment. Stop getting bothered by your 3D. The only time you should be really boasting about your 3D is when your manifestation has shown up in a good way. All of the times you just seem like you're complaining about it. It's not going to take you anywhere. I'm being very blunt. Complaining about your 3D is not going to take you anywhere. It's going to keep you stuck in the old story. And if you're stuck in the old story, you cannot impress your mind with the new story. It's as simple as that. Manifestation is completely simple to understand, but people do not wish to understand and follow it. Leave 3D alone. Okay? You don't need validation or evidence or movement in 3D to assure yourself that it's coming. This assurance needs to come here. That's the whole work. Manifestation is an internal work, nothing external. You are the one who needs to reassure yourself, yes, this is coming, not the 3D. The 3D is where the final manifestation shows up. It's secondary. This is primary. So if you are changing these roles and making that primary and this secondary, it's not going to work that way. Leave the 3D alone, leave the how alone, leave the when alone. When you can just drop all of these things, detach completely from all of these things, you're going to manifest peacefully. That's what I want to say. Will your manifestation come? Yes, it will, but I want to say it will bring peace to you. You will do it with a happy, clean heart and mind. And that's how manifestation should feel like. If you want to understand in detail why you should not care about the time and the how, you can check out my playlist linked below. The next thing is working through your emotions, not suppressing your emotions and pushing through your resistance. I talk about emotions a lot on my channel for the simple reason that I want people to not be afraid of themselves and their emotions, but be kind to themselves, change their whole relationship with doubts, fears, and triggers. I also have a detailed playlist where I talk about emotions and feelings, doubts, triggers, fears, and resistance. I will link it below. You can have a look. Resistance is nothing but kind of a pushback feeling because you are wanting something, right? You're wanting something, you're affirming for it, or you're visualizing, but your internal belief system is something else, right? So your belief system, what you are, does not match with what you're affirming, which is what you want, right? And we know that you manifest what you are, not what you want. So it's just going to be a bit of pushback. You might feel weird in your chest. You might feel this want and need to procrastinate and not really do your techniques. The funny thing is, resistance can come in a lot of forms and it has no timetable to it. Similar to fears and doubts, it can come anytime, right? It's not that you know it's coming now. You might be having an amazing week manifesting, doing your techniques, being really in the feel good state, and then it hits you. So just being aware of this knowledge that this can come anytime, but it's nothing to fear. I just need to push through because it's going to then leave. If you resist it, what you resist persists. So if you push back, you struggle, you fight, you try to suppress it, it's going to bother you even more. Okay, as I mentioned, you're not a robot. You don't stop being a human because you're practicing conscious creation. Learn how to let your emotions pass through and then get back to your work. If you need a day's break, it's fine. You're not losing out on time. Few important points for you to understand: you're not missing out on opportunity. Nothing is happening. Okay, no one is out to get you. Get rid of all of these notions. If you are someone who really watches a lot of videos on self concept, all this is a part of that. If you cannot be kind, compassionate with yourself during your manifestation journey, where are you practicing self concept? Self concept has a lot of layers. What you believe about yourself, how you treat yourself, how you show up for yourself. Okay, I'm sure you've heard this in a lot of manifestation videos that you need to show up for yourself. How you think about others, how you think about certain areas of your life, okay? And what you believe the world thinks about you. These are all the different layers of self concept. So if you say, I'm working on my self concept, but then in your real life, in your actual life, you are not showing up for yourself, you're not respecting yourself, you're not kind, compassionate, but you put yourself through this torture. You torture yourself with not trying to feel your emotions and distracting yourself. Where is your self concept? Okay, these are the kind of reality checks that you need to do with yourself from time to time, because you might be in this delusional world that, oh, I'm working on my self concept, I'm doing this well, but your actions and decisions in your real life, in your 3D reality, are the evidence of, are you even doing it? Are you actually doing it? Okay, you can say all you want that I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Are you actually doing it? Test it out for yourself. What are the kind of decisions you're making in your 3D reality? How are you showing up for yourself? Are you being kind towards yourself? If any friend or a person you're really close to, your partner, your mom, dad, anyone, is going through a lot of emotions, what are you going to do? Are you going to be there for them, let them vent, let them have their emotions come out because you know it's healthy? Or you're going to sit on their head and make them suppress their emotions? This is a really good advice I keep coming back to always, even in all my coaching sessions, because this seems to be the perfect way to make people understand what they cannot understand about themselves, about how they should treat themselves. Is this the way you will treat someone you love, your best friend? Is this the way you'll treat them? No, don't do that to yourself then. Okay, keep checking on your decisions and actions and behaviors in 3D reality. This is how you will know that are you actually doing the work. Your 3D is a reflection of you, is something we keep saying, right? Because it literally is. When you want to know if you're doing something well or not, your 3D will give you the evidence, right? So don't just keep saying that you're practicing self concept by doing superficial affirmations. Show it in your commitment to yourself, show it in your daily life, in your decisions, in the actions you're taking. Be a human, let your emotions pass by, express it. Okay, nothing is going to ruin. This is something I talk about in my playlist Q&A, or busting myths around manifestation. You can have a moment, you can have a moment for days, it's fine. If you're not feeling good this week, you're down because something really, really unhealthy, unpleasant took place in your 3D reality, you have all the right to be angry, to be upset, to cry. Cry for a week. It does not matter. Then come to the solution. It's what you eventually come back to. It's always going to be that. Even when we talk about states, it's not about forcing yourself into a state. It's more of what are you revisiting the most. When you bounce back after 1 week, when you're finally done with all that, what do you come back to? Do you come back to being a victim? Or do you come back to the solution that, okay, this is done, this happened. I want something else now. I choose something else now. I'm going to create something else. Now that is what matters, not you having a moment. You can have all the moments you want. I'm telling you today, it's not going to ruin your manifestation. It's not going to mess anything up. Relax, let it be, take a break, and get back when you're fine. The next thing I want to talk about is your subconscious mind. So, how do I know my subconscious mind is impressed? How do I impress my subconscious mind? I covered it a bit at the beginning. It's all about discipline. Okay. And my code for discipline is repetition plus persistence plus consistency. Consistency with your routine. Okay. Being persistent in your end goal and new story when things are not going well, or things are stagnant, or things are opposite to what you're trying to manifest. Repetition of your new story, repetition and revisiting the state where you have your experience. Pick up any kind of techniques. I'm not really covering techniques in this video. It's something that you should pick up whatever technique feels good to you. Okay, I have a very big playlist around techniques that you can check out below. Pick any technique that makes you feel good, that really makes you feel like in this moment the whole world has shut down and I am with my desire. That is all. Don't get too technical around techniques. Techniques don't manifest, you manifest. I keep repeating this always because you are the one manifesting your mind. Techniques are just tools and methods there to help you, to bring you in a certain state. They don't manifest. You can easily manifest without techniques. Okay, how? Just by focusing on your inner conversations, inner dialogue during the day, inner thoughts. If you are able to do that, because this is the most important time. This is somewhere you spend 10, 12 hours, and on techniques you spend like what, 1 hour, 2 hours. This is the most important part. And if you have been a part of my channel, I have repeated this a lot. This part of your day is most important. So even if you don't want to practice techniques, you can completely get rid of it and just focus on a good internal dialogue. The more repetition you do, the more you feed your mind the new story, while not dwelling in the old story, not giving importance to the 3D. It's important, or else you're just going back and forth. Okay, you'll keep going in circles, that Here I'm telling my mind the new story, but again I'm dwelling in the old story. Your mind will not know what to do. Okay, so this will completely get cancelled out. Why? Because this story, old story, is already dominant and deep rooted, right? So by default, your mind will still keep producing this. So repetition is very, very important. Give yourself enough grace and time during this adjustment period where your mind is trying to get adjusted and take in the new story as your truth and slowly getting rid of the old story. It might not happen overnight, especially if it's a deep rooted belief. But that's where your self concept, being good to yourself, adjusting to the time period comes into the picture. And that's where discipline comes into the picture. This is the inner work. If you get confused, what is this inner work I'm trying to do? This is your inner work where you need to be committed and disciplined. Okay, this video is so long, even my candle went off. As I mentioned, your mind is not partial, it's not biased, it's not controlling you, it's not out to get you. Whatever you feed it, it's going to produce that. It's as simple as that. So take care of the input and your mind will take care of the output. The only way to impress your subconscious mind with a new story is repetition. Good repetition, not forcing yourself into techniques, but going with a good, fun approach, feel good approach that, oh, these are the 3, 4 times I'm going to do my techniques. Or I'm going to have a good internal dialogue. Or I'm going to make sure, be more mindful that I'm not dwelling in old stories. And you will know that your subconscious mind has been impressed in different ways. Okay, manifestation works differently for everyone. Okay, there's no one rule around it, there's no one way it shows up, and that's why we don't know. I don't know how your manifestation will show up for you. There are a lot of people for whom actually bridge of incidents take place, and for some, without all of that, it just shows up. There are so many people who see movement and 3D evidences, but a lot of people manifest so many things without any evidence coming in. It just shows up. So we don't know how it's going to take place, honestly. But you will know your subconscious mind is impressed with a few things. You will not react to the 3D, to your circumstances the way you used to. Someone asked me in my group coaching session, how do I know that internal change has taken place? And what I repeat a lot, because in my coaching sessions, the way I make videos, I just don't want to give you the answers or spoon feed you the answers. I want you to become capable of finding your own answers. And that's actually the true work of coaches. The thing is, as humans, we have all the answers within us, right? But when we are in a state of feeling low, not really feeling good about our life, we are not able to see those answers. There are a lot of blind spots. So, the work of a coach is to guide you and make you reach those answers. Enable you to find your own answers so that you're not always depending on outside sources to spoon feed answers to you. So, how do you know that things are changing? There's a change happening within. The answer is in the question. When a change happens, you will know it because you will feel the change. If you were behaving a certain way in your 3D previously, now you're behaving differently. Okay, you just need to be mindful and you see changes around you all the time. If you were reacting a lot to the 3D before, if you were idolizing something or someone a lot before, and now you're not really doing it that much, that's a change. So you'll know a change has taken place when a change takes place. Your emotions, feelings, reactions, actions, behaviors, thoughts, beliefs, everything will be different. And if you have a hard time trying to remember that, then make a list. Today, sit down and make a list of how you're feeling around your desire. Be very honest. Okay, I always repeat that in your manifestation journey, it's just you and you. There's no point being dishonest with yourself. Make a list, put in some specific sections: your emotions, feelings, resistance, anxiety. How are you reacting to 3D? How do you react to your specific person behaving a certain way? Write all of that down. After 1 month, write how you're feeling now. Compare the two. You'll see a lot of change taken place if you have done the inner work correctly. The last and final thing I want to cover is that you can do this. If I can do this, if all those YouTubers that you trust and you know are genuine YouTubers and have shown their progress and success, if those people can do it, you can do it too. I'm not different than you. No one is different or better than the other person. Eliminate this kind of comparison altogether. Comparison does nothing but kill your joy. Don't compare yourself to the next person when it comes to your manifestation journey or anything else in life. The energy you're putting into focus on that person, their progress, is all the energy you should be taking back and putting in your inner work. We are conditioned to believe that things are hard. We need to work hard to achieve certain things. We need to prove our worth. We need to prove our worth to even get a few words of validation from outside. And only if someone from outside appreciates me or validates me, I am something, I am someone. And that's not true at all. These are some of those really deep rooted conditioning, 3D conditioning that we have all had since our childhood days, because that's how the world operates, right? You do something good, your parents will reward you. You do something bad, your parents will punish you. You need to work hard to get some screen time. You need to work hard to get good grades. You need to get good grades to get into a good college. So everything that has been set in the world today is for you to aim high, not even aim high, but to really get stressed and tensed and torture yourself around a lot of things that is not necessary. And I think this is one of the conditioning that is really hard to get rid of. But if you start your work even today, I can promise you that within 30 to 60 days, you'll see a lot of improvement around this area. You don't have to have a hard life. You don't have to work hard to just get a few words of appreciation. You don't have to overwork yourself and lose your sleep just to get a hike that isn't even making a difference in your salary. You don't have to flip yourself upside down to get a little love from someone that you're after. And all this is where the abundance mindset that I was talking about at the beginning will help you. Life can be easy, life can be really simple, life can be really minimal. Get out of your own way and stop making things difficult for yourself just because as humans we are, used to making things difficult for us. No one is in our way. Mind you, no one is in our way. We are the only ones that come in our way because of our mind. Okay, the way we think, the obstacles we create here, the scenarios we create here, the fears we dwell in, everything is happening in our mind. That's what creates this perception of things being hard. So you can do this as much as I can do this, as much as any other big YouTuber who's teaching manifestation does this. You are capable, you are worthy of a good life no matter what, and you don't need anyone else's reassurance or validation. So I really hope you can put all of these things into practice and really get serious about this journey of conscious creation that you're working so hard to learn. It's not difficult, it's not too technical. I know it might not seem easy, but it's really simple. And let it remain simple. Let it be simple. If you make it too technical, you will make things difficult for yourself. I hope you make 2024 your best year yet. Manifest all your big dreams and really commit to this process of creating a nice life and nice reality for yourself. Not just for yourself, for your loved ones, for your family, everyone. I hope you have a really good time with your loved ones this new year. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, have a great week.